Hamaguchi should at least know how Professor Go even talked. I don't imagine Zool and Go had the same cadence of talking. I understand that they mimicked his voice. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back to another episode of Voltace 5. Normally I would bring up the board, but legitimately I did not make any changes to the board over the last 2 episodes. I guess I could have added some ambassadors to the board, but they've been in 2 episodes, but they did not legitimately do anything. Right? They called back to their home country and exerted authority that no ambassador should really have. Otherwise, there's no real change in the status quo. I guess I could have made a red line between Hamaguchi and Heinel, but Heinel just really just mocked him straight to his face, and him and General Oka rather. But it's not like when Jangle fought Oka or Megumi, right? There was no real interaction between them. So there was no real reason to add any new lines there. So as I said, no changes to the board have been made. So going on to the notes. I have to wonder if the Bosnian homeworld is the planet in the opening, with the double set of rings in orbit around 2 suns that are spinning around each other. If so, it's curious that they would show it in the intro of the show with the Voltace 5 in front of it. I guess that is where the lyric about the dawning of the earth is near, maybe implying that we are going to take the fight to the Bosnians. Because at the end of the day, no matter what we do with our invader characters, if we do some sort of weird redemption arc with them, at the end of the day, the Bosnians are galaxy invaders, right? So something I complained about during the last 2 episodes was the fact that the energy weapon on, sorry, I never tried to say this name out loud before, Namazungo, was able to turn off the Voltace 5 combining effect, but it was also a super weapon in its own right. We get shown that when it fires on Heinel's base, as an example. Later, we see it fire on the Voltace machines, setting them on fire and dealing some damage. But more importantly, sending all of the team to the infirmary to recover from their wounds. For such a powerful weapon, you'd think the Beast Machine would keep firing it until someone mentioned that it had run out of power or something. But no one says that. Namazungo just stops firing it. It's the strongest and most effective weapon we've seen yet, and it just doesn't get used. So we have Phil Fisher in the live chat suggesting for the pronunciation of the name I've been saying wrong this whole time. They're saying Bowzanian? Bowzanian? See, I've been saying Boaz and Ian. Boaznian. So I've been pronouncing it by every 2 syllables, right? Bo as an Ian. And you were saying bow as a BOA sound instead of a BO-AZ sound. Bowzanian. I mean, that would probably be easier if I can get it out of my memory that I've been saying it. It's like Bo. See, I thought that's what I was saying, if I was saying not that. In my head, I was thinking Boa Hancock from One Piece. So that's probably where my mind was going, because I was looking back at the 3 letters, B-O-A, Boa, and you're saying bow, rather. So it's also that problem when you say a word too many times back to back and it starts to lose any meaning in your head. Now I'm just saying bow, 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 if you will. Anyway, Bozanian versus, so silent A then. Again, it's if I remember to do it. Unfortunately, the problem that we've encountered a lot of times here is that I have said a character's name wrong so many times that it's in my head is the way to say it. It defaults. So if I remember, I will try to think Bozanian instead of Boasnian. I don't know. I'll try. Deploying 2 beast machines is the closest Heinel and crew ever get to winning. Both times they've done so, they almost achieved victory. Like I said before, they need to just hide for some time, then pop back up later with an army of beast machines. Hell, where did the invasion fleet of saucers go? If they had them still, they could have won in this two-parter. I mean, they essentially already won in episode 1, mind you, since it's never explained how Voltes 5 was victorious when we only see it destroy 1 beast machine and like 2 saucers. Out of a worldwide invasion, mind you. But now that we are showing worldwide effects and efforts for real, I have to assume that the saucers would have just ripped through those air forces if we saw them in action again. It looks like the 3 cars that pull up at the airport are for the US ambassador, the Soviet ambassador, it's still 14 years to the collapse of the USSR by the airing of the show, and the Italian ambassador. Of course, there are 4 ambassadors present for General Oka to try and shame, so I guess one of them was carpooling. I'll let you guess which. I already pointed out how ridiculous the scene is during the reaction, so I won't continue to harp on it from here. General Oka's speech is fine, and I think it would have done better if he was having to rally his own countrymen, who would have really gone for this. Foreign ambassadors, though? As a reminder, one of those cars was the Italian ambassador. In episode 1, Italy suffered 3 million dead. The U.S. ambassador is also president. Also president? What the hell am I talking about? The U.S. ambassador is also present. Again, episode 1, U.S. Mediterranean Fleet, gone. U.S. Antarctic Air Force, gone. Statue of Liberty, gone. World Trade Center, gone. Our boy is flying back home and doing whatever it takes to defend American interests. Especially considering that the Cold War should still be going on, and the Soviets are no doubt plotting to use this against us. My point being is that this needs more than a general talking to 4 guys at an airport. Maybe, and a real maybe here, all this should have been happening at the United Nations building. It should have come under attack, and General Oka could give this speech there, in front of the entire world. He might as well be talking to people in a Walmart parking lot for as much sense as this actually makes. I apologize, by the way. For some reason, my ability to pronounce words and read has really come under attack in the last 5 minutes. My last note here. I don't get why they imply Professor Go has turned on the team. It's very clear the implication is that they that they captured the father, and that he's given up information because they captured him. I'd sooner believe that they were torturing him than the fact that he was just giving them intel on his own. Thus, why I am not reflecting that on the board. Because if I really believed Professor Go had turned on the team, I would make a green line from the Emperor to him, or from him to Heinel, and a red line for him and his kids. Obviously, I don't believe that to be true. I would sooner believe my previous theory that Professor Go is Heinel's dad than I would that he is now the enemy of the team. Anyway, as I said, those are my notes. So there's nothing left to do now but to go ahead and hop on into the show.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
And to what Phil Fisher was saying before about that's how it's pronounced in the Philippine dubs, Baozanian. I don't know. Is Voltace 5 Legacy? Is there a dub of that in English? Because offhand, I wouldn't think that there would be, given the fact that Voltace 5, I don't know if Voltace 5 itself has an English dub. Because unlike all the other shows that I watch that I will listen to in, or I react to in Japanese and then watch again later in English, I've watched this one both times in Japanese. But I'm saying if there was a, I was supposed to say if there was a Boasnian dub, if there was a English dub, I could listen to that in English and see how they say it there, and then come back and compare it with you.
誰も知らないはずの秘密研究所になんと敵の将軍ハイネルが現れた。なぜお前がこの研究所のありかを知っている？
Had to look over my notes real quick for a second to make sure I wasn't rewatching the episode I had just watched.
謀略の父が地球を狙う。
Just giving it all away. Obviously, it's all a fucking trick.
今まで生死不明だったケンイチたちの父親。
The idea that we're doing recaps, it's just so new in Voltace 5.
しかも彼は敵の手先になっているというのだ。浜口博士と岡
He's smoking a cigar, but he has no ashtray.
それで君はこの事情をケンイチたちに何と説明するつもりなんだね。私はゴーが敵に寝返ったとは信じられない。無論だ。しかしね、ボアザン星人のことだ。
Yeah, that's also possible. But it still wouldn't be him. It would be brainwashing.
その通りだ。ゴーが我々を裏切るまいとしても、奴らが手先にすることくらい簡単なことだ。そうだ。ボルテス5の設計者であるゴーは、そうなった時、ボルテス5にとって最大の敵となりうるんだ。私が一番心配しているのはそれだ。
I've already previously stated that I'm pretty sure the ending credits are the Voltace kids running to meet their father. So I think it's pretty implied by the ending credits of the show that their father is fine and will meet them again in a happy setting. Again, why are you only thinking about Kenichi? What about Tajiro? When does he get his own episode?
そこでございます、ハイネル様。そこでもう一押しするのでございます。何？それは作戦か？はい。地球人類の心理分析を積み重ねた結果、驚くべき事実が分かったのでございます。
It's amazing Zool is still allowed to wander around this place considering his betrayal.
驚きめさるな。なんと哺乳類下等動物の人間どもが愛情を持っているのでございます。何？愛を？
I feel like they never turned on a TV set.
お前は犬や猫が笑ったり泣いたりするのを見たことがあるのか？人間どもに愛情があってたまるか？
This feels like it's going in a very Macross direction.
お聞きください。これは紛れもない事実です。正確なデータ分析からの結論でございます。人間どもは我々の想像もつかぬ異常進化を遂げたものと思われます。かかる過当な生物の分際で愛情などとは考えただけでも虫唾が走るわ。
This is a really weird plot point. Like, where do we take this?
ケンイチたちにとってゴーは唯一の父。もし彼らの前にゴーが現れたら、それも裏切り者として。父を慕う愛情と父への不信が。
Don't zoom on Ahino's face one more time. Thank God.
まずはご覧ください。
Again, the idea that they thought so little of humanity. Humanity can love? What the fuck are we doing?
さあ、何か喋ってみろ。
本日は晴天なり、本日は晴天。これは俺の声ではないぞ。私の声。
いかがですか？このメカは
They must have had a movie in the 70s with a voice changer in it. This cannot be new or surprising.
このメカへ入れますれば、いともたやすくゴーの声を作り出すことができます。策はすでに我が胸中にできております。
しかし人間どもに愛がわかるのだとは思いもよらなかった。
いやはや、下等生物の分際で愛と言っては泣いたり笑ったり、はたまた挙句の果ては死ぬの生きるのと一人前のつもりでおります。
思い上がりもどう過ぎて、作戦はお前に任せた。吉報を待っているぞ。
はは
Again, I feel like they should have pre-introduced the concept that the Bowsanians. Sorry, I'm having a hard time trying to fit into my lexicon now. Thought the humans were animals. Again, it's like Battlefield Earth levels of stuff. The human animal.
いいか、これから戦いは今以上に熾烈を極めてくるだろう。しかしどんなことがあってもくじけてはならんぞ。お前たちが父の意志を継いで兄弟を、友人を、そして地球を愛している限り、ボルテス5の前に恐れるものは何もない。
でもなんで死んじまったんだろう。僕はお父さんの顔さえ知らないんだ。
Well, you were literally a baby when he left.
メソメソするな。俺たちはボルテス隊員なんだぞ。そうじゃ。親父はおらんばってん。俺どんにはボルテス5があるぞ。
Also, where's Toga at?
バリア防御の中に待機せよ。しもた。バリア防御の中までは相当あるたい。諸軍だ。はい。
You figure that little red octopus would be here, considering he's essentially family.
よし、バリアを張れ。いや、ダメです。浜口博士と健一軍たちがまだバリア防御区の中に入っていません。何?
What did I say before? You can never leave the base for any reason, even though we have remote-controlled these things. Sorry, there is just the element of the Bowsanians come up with a plan, and then they enact it in the stupidest way possible. In that traditional way that he always introduced himself to his kids, with his full name. See, I'm not going to blame Hiyoshi for any of this. Hiyoshi's already stated he doesn't even remember him. Hamaguchi should at least know how Professor Go even talked. I don't imagine Zool and Go had the same cadence of talking. I understand that they mimicked his voice. Well, goodbye, Professor. Because I don't imagine Zool has ever talked to Professor Go before. To know how he talks. Like, where are the slow parts of his voice? Does he inflect on things?
ようこそ浜口。
ゴーはどこだ？どこにいるんだ？
お前もすっかり騙されおったな。
何？それは音声変換装置。
気づくのが遅かったな、浜口。
おなり。あとはお前の命と引き換えにボルテス5を叩き潰すのみよ。
とくとその目で確かめるがいい。ボルテスの最後をな。ゴングルよ出撃だ。
Gonger?
許せない。たとえ父であっても許せない。
Yeah, having the exact opposite effect of what they want. Oh, that's right. Now I remember the next time on. The giant gorilla attack.
ミサイルランチャー攻撃用意。攻撃開始。
I guess thankfully today was the day that General Oka decided to stick around at the base. Because otherwise, who would be giving these commands right now? Ippei? Megumi?
今となってはたとえ父であろうと俺たちの敵だ。正体こげことすんなお父さんではなかったい。
僕たちは地球を守る戦士だ。死んだって地球は僕たちが守るんだ。
よく言ってくれたヒロシ。大事よ。
I mean, conversely, if you take out the skull ship, you're going to be taking out Hamaguchi as well.
健闘を祈っとるぞ。ボルテスチーム出撃せよ。はい。
I'm saying as well, as though Professor Go was actually on the ship. I mean, if you take out... Okay, never mind. They're taking it into consideration. And the music's playing, so you know what's actually going to happen this time. I will say this is the thing I've been saying all the time. They should just vault in from moment one. Because the Voltase machines do jack shit to the beast monsters. Or sorry, the beast machines. I'm screwing up everything I say today. I guess I'm just in the realm of... Okay, what are we doing? I'm just in the realm of maximum efficiency. I mean, we haven't even pulled a tell me something only you would know thing. Sneaking up? I really feel like this is the joke episode. Anyway, what I was saying about maximum efficiency is you would start vaulted in, and you would just immediately pull out the sword. Funny, this is one of the things that Gundam gets done to it in early episodes. Also, legitimately, what I just said earlier. When they pull out 2 beast machines, they have a higher chance of winning. It's the first time they've actually shown people on the ground next to the tanks and the weaponry. Man, is this like a joke episode? They never shown one of the beast machines being so freaking goofy. Again, this is a reason why you don't leave one person in control of the machine. I think Daijiro could power through this if he was in charge of the machine. Okay, unexpected badass in Professor Hamaguchi. Also, am I getting this wrong, or do they do or they not have teleportation technology? No way. Ain't no way they're gonna kill Hamaguchi. Especially since he's Ippei's grandpa. No fucking way. That's so much for this being a joke episode. I just never thought the professor would fucking die, especially in all the dangerous positions they put him in so far. I mean, he went out exactly like Mitsuri did. That's a real shame. I really liked Hamaguchi. He had emotional depth to him as he was like countering some of Kenichi Nippei's shit. I'll say, literally, your sword comes out from under your neck. You could have chopped his hands off. Again, can we stop playing it for laughs? Professor Hamaguchi just fucking died. I mean, can you imagine if we pulled a, like, slapstick thing right after the mother died in, like, episode 2? No, seriously, you should have just pulled out the sword. And then the rest of the episode, we should have been seriously dealing with the fact that Hamaguchi just fucking died. Does it leave General Oka in charge now? But he's in charge of the Earth Defense Forces. He can't be in both places at once.
もう一歩というところを
お前たちが父の意志を継いで兄弟を友人をそして地球を愛している限りボルテス5の前に恐れるものは何もない。
浜口博士
Wow, just fucking doing it. Man, every time I think the show is going a little bit more cartoony and whatnot, they do something up the stakes again to remind me that this isn't old school. And by old school, I mean... So there's a cartoonish level to some older anime than this, right? Where the super robot genre is filled with stuff that makes less sense. It's less serious. I know, because this is the romance trilogy of Super Robot that Tamino had a hand in before he goes all real robot in Gundam. I don't know, man. I just wish they hadn't done that whole cartoony robot gorilla thing. Mitsuya had a really serious episode where she sacrificed herself for her children. Hamaguchi followed his sacrifice with, like, slapstick fighting. It's like, come on, give the man some respect.
天一たちに救われた地底城の奴隷がゴー博士を裏切り者と呼ぶプリンスハイネルの卑劣な作戦とは何か重視ガルマンの攻撃を前にボルテス5の天空剣は使用不可能となってしまった次回ボルテス5
I don't know,
死
it's
とこの
nose.
罠にご期待ください
Okay, I have no idea what's happening next time, other than the fact it looks like they built a beast machine that can prevent the Voltase 5 from pulling out the Heaven Sword, which, cool, that's a good thing to do, because if it can't pull out the sword, then I guess the fight just goes on forever. I mean, mostly because, obviously, the Heaven Sword is how you defeat everything. It is the 2-point fight process. Well, I guess 3-point if you count vaulting in as part of the process. Because you have to vault in to then form the Voltase 5, and the Voltase 5 is the one with the sword. Although, arguably, shouldn't one of the vault machines have the sword on it, even when they're not in combined form, right? Because all of its weapons come from somewhere. So assumedly, which is the one that forms the middle? Isn't that the underwater one? Sorry, I'm blanking here. Of course, it's gonna take a second to load up. Wouldn't that mean that the underwater vault machine, Hyoshi's, yeah, Hyoshi's. Does that mean Hyoshi's has all the main weaponry on it? Because assumedly that would mean it should open up and the tops should be inside of Hyoshi's machine. And also somewhere on the outside, the Heaven Sword should be sitting on Hyoshi's machine. If I'm getting it right, it's either Hyoshi's or Daijiro's, and I'm pretty sure Hyoshi's is the top and Daijiro's is the bottom. But if I'm backwards, the point still stands for either of them. One of them should be covered in the main weapons of Voltes 5. So even if everything goes wrong, you figure one of them should be able to fire Heaven's Sword out at the enemy and still win the day. Yeah, and does General Oka just take over from now on? Is somebody else's standard? Does Kenichi take over the team from here on out? Oh god, I don't think Kenichi has learned enough lessons to be overall leader. He's been a dick the entire time. Hamaguchi has been the most paternal. Okay, Bill Fisher is saying Hiyoshi is the legs, Daijiro is the middle, Ippei is the arms and chest. So then Ippei is the one with the tops and the sword that should be on his. Which I guess not so great given that you're giving it to the most random member of the team. And again, Hamaguchi being Ippei's grandfather. So Ippei now lost a family member he didn't even know he had. Yep, it's a sad day for Voltes 5, but even sadder given that we had to go through guerrilla shenanigans for another 5 minutes after Hamaguchi died. Yep, I think that's it for this episode. There's not much else to say here. They better have another future episode where they have the mother's gravesite, and they have one for Hamaguchi there as well, because they need to be able to pay respects to both of them nearest the same area, because we know that they can't fucking leave the base. They left the base again as a group, and look what happened. I know it's not actually tied together with the events. It's just, that's an arguing point that I've had before. Either way, this has been an episode of Voltes 5. I've been Theta. This has been some Matrix reactions as well. I said that wrong. And we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?